We are now joined by our reporter Hakim Wampamba, who is at the scene in Nakasero to update us about the search of the former Speaker Anita Among's home. Hakim, a very good evening to you. We had an update from you earlier on in the day and at 7 p.m. Has anything changed?
Well, a very good evening to you, Sheila, and everyone watching NBS Live at 9. I should be able to inform you that nothing much has changed apart from the fact that we've seen the security operatives going in and out of the former Speaker's residence. Of course, these were carrying what people call the grinders, and of course that actually means that they are cutting something, and that at about 7:35 p.m. we had some loud sounds of cuts. Perhaps some things are being cut right from inside the house, and this is one of the things that we should say climax what people call the raid onto her home by security operatives that started at around 2:30 p.m. today, when we saw different security agencies rounding up the home, and we've seen security upbeat right here at this particular road, Mackinnon Road, and they've gone inside there like at about 3:30 p.m. and they have carried out the search. We've seen the police forensics department, we've seen CID officers as well as UPDF officials right at this particular time, and we've seen some of her personal bodyguards, to include Corporal Mercy Peace, and some of the people that were part of her security detail actually were told to get out. Some of the people that had come earlier to visit her, including Salim Uhuru, who is the mayor of Kampala Central, were actually told to go back. So what you can be able to see right in my background is the gate, as we wait to see or hear anything that could perhaps come out of that particular gate. All those police vehicles that you're seeing right there actually point to something, and everything and anything that you can see right at this particular venue can be able to tell a story of its own. The magnitude of such a moment can actually be at least told by the presence of journalists, some of whom have been pitch camping here right from the hour of about 2:30. That gets to tell you the gravity of such a moment in Uganda's political history, and it so much portends to the fact that we are seeing some political curtains and some political doors closing on some of the players within the Ugandan political spectrum. And now this comes at the backdrop of having the 11th Parliament actually bid valediction, as we now see the 12th Parliament set into motion, courtesy of the fact that we now have all the members of Parliament of the 12th Parliament have taken oath, including the Honourable Anita Among, who swore as the District Woman MP for Bukedea. And now, if you want to understand the gravity of such a moment within Uganda's political history or Uganda's political discussions, you might want to go back to March 2022, when the Right Honourable Speaker or former Speaker of Parliament Anita Among shot to power as the Speaker of the 11th Parliament following the death of Jacob Lokorio Lanya, who was the duly elected Member of Parliament or the Speaker of the 11th Parliament. After their demise, we then saw Honourable Anita Among take over the mantle, of course deputized by Honourable Thomas Taebwa as the deputy, and now her leadership has increasingly been under criticism by civil society, political analysts, and including Western countries, some of which actually put sanctions on her, making the first history, of course not so good history, of having the sitting Speaker of the 11th or the Parliament being sanctioned by the Western powers, and that actually was spanning within the confines of allegations of bribery and mismanagement of public funds, as well as public extravagance at the time when many Ugandans needed a shot in the arm, or when the country was passing through economic turmoil. The people say that the House, the 11th Parliament, has been emblazoned in excessive use of money, and all this is coming back to, or is coming at the backdrop of having a letter that is dated at least July 2025 that speaks to different allegations of enrichment, impropriety in awarding of contracts at the Parliament of Uganda, among many others. And we haven't had a comment from police and security agencies, and we await the comment comment that will be coming in from police or UPDF or any other relevant authority relating to this, because we do not know whether that letter is the cause of the search that is being conducted here. We do not know what the revelations are going to be, but we're certainly going to be here to bring you every other detail as we get to it. Right now, we must be sure to have the facts right, and we must be so sure to bring all that to you as it gets to happen. At least it should be noted that we saw some of the lawyers coming in here earlier, including Caleb Walaka, and I should be able to inform you that we will be waiting for many other details that might be coming in later. But as I get back to you for now, Sheila, at the Political Command Center.
Thank you very much, Hakeem Mwampamba. We'll be getting back to you later on to get updates. Now, as the race for the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the 12th Parliament gains momentum, opposition parties are weighing their strategy, with the Uganda People's Congress ruling out participation in the contest and some leaders warning against fronting candidates against the ruling party's numerical strength in Parliament. Amidst the unfolding debate, a section of National Unity Platform leaders and supporters in Busoga are lobbying for Paul Mwiru to be appointed leader of opposition, citing his role in securing 8 new parliamentary seats across the sub-region.
During a Thanksgiving event, several leaders and supporters of the National Unity Platform in Busoga appealed to the party leadership to appoint Paul Mwiru as the leader of opposition in the 12th Parliament. While addressing attendees, NUP leaders urged the party's top leadership to consider Mwiru for the top opposition role, arguing that he played a key role in helping the party secure several parliamentary seats in Jinja City and across the Busoga sub-region during the recent elections.
For mobilization purposes, it is only wise for NUP to appoint Honorable Mwiru Paul for leader of opposition. If they don't, I tell you, we will be judged, and history will judge us very harshly.
He's experienced, and we believe that among the crop that we have now, Honorable Mwiru is on top.
Mwiru kumwiru, kunga Mwiru kunga.
In his remarks, Paul Mwiru assured constituents that he would represent them diligently and without fear when he returns to Parliament.
I will serve with humility and I will respect humanity, because the reason why I'm here too. And most important, I will respect the oath. I took oath to uphold the Constitution and pay allegiance to the constituency. All through my 5 years, I will respect my president, I will respect my party, I will respect the voters who have made me to go to Parliament.
Meanwhile, as the race for Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the 12th Parliament gains momentum following the swearing in of legislators, the Uganda People's Congress has ruled out participating in the contest. UPC Secretary General Fred Ebil confirmed that no party member has expressed interest in contesting for either positions. Ebil says party members have instead been advised to support a candidate with the highest chances of winning.
My advice to my members of UPC is that they should vote for the most popular candidate who is likely to become Speaker and the candidate who is going to be Deputy Speaker.
He noted that the party is comfortable backing even a candidate from the ruling National Resistance Movement, arguing that the office of Speaker should serve the interests of Ugandans rather than partisan interests.
By supporting them at the time of their campaign, they will make sure they build a good relationship and they will build cohesion.
The Member of Parliament for Kirak South County in Amuru District, Gilbert Olanya, says it would not be strategic for the opposition to front a candidate for Speaker given its minority position in Parliament compared to the ruling party.
So we need to avoid unnecessary jokes. Let the NRM bring in the Speaker who will really work well for this country.
Now it's that time where we get to listen to the opinion question for today and get your feedback. How best can the opposition navigate the speakership race despite their numerical disadvantage? The hashtag is NBS Live at 9. Let's take a look at your feedback. Now the hashtag is NBS Live at 9. We'll be looking at your feedback later on. Moving on, Father Raymond Mukonyozo of Dabani Catholic Parish Church in Busia has called for unity, saying the time for politics is over. He made the remarks during the Thanksgiving event organized by Samia Bugwen North MP John Paul Wandera. At the same event, NRM National Treasurer Ambassador Barbara Nekesa Owundo told newly sworn-in members of Parliament that it was time to shift focus from politics to serving the people. She urged them to support government policies and ensure programs are implemented effectively to drive wealth creation at the grassroots.
We pray that God gives him wisdom, gives him knowledge to lead us well during these next 5 years, to unite everybody during this term of office.
Always listen to a simple advice, even an old woman, because that word will help you always to be a good leader. Be humble and always listen to the people of God. The problem is some of our people, when they go through, become leaders, they become so high. Even a simple person fears how do I approach to talk to a member of Parliament, my issue and what have you. But if you remain humble and listen, take into account their points of view, you will always be a great leader for your people.
People who lost, and they had people that who believed in them. So the first thing is to unite, to make sure we unite and work for the constituents and the district at large. That's the most important thing. Then the other thing is we have programs that are in our manifesto that we are supposed to start on. Things like electricity, things like water, things like roads, and other things.
The ruling National Resistance Movement Secretary General Richard Todwong has assured members of the party will front a suitable candidate for the position of Speaker of Parliament and formally unveil that person before the election date arrives. The process of electing the Speaker is the next major parliamentary business following the conclusion of the swearing-in ceremony for members of the 12th Parliament.
For the last 3 days, Parliament has been occupied with administering oaths to newly elected legislators set to serve in the 12th Parliament. By the close of the exercise, nearly all MPs had been sworn in except only 2 members. Following the swearing-in, MPs were informed that first sitting of the 12th Parliament will take place on the 25th of this month. The key item on the agenda for that sitting will be the election of leaders who will preside over Parliament for the next 5 years.
But the first major business, of course, of any first sitting of Parliament is the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker.
Several MPs on Friday said they are waiting for party's official position regarding the Speaker and Deputy Speaker race ahead of the 25th sitting. Although a number of individuals have publicly expressed interest in contesting for the Speaker's seat, the NRM, which holds the majority in Parliament, remains in internal consultation and the right candidate will be unveiled ahead of the first sitting.
No, the party will always prepare. It has always been prepared. There is no way that the party fails to have a candidate for any position. And so there are candidates for all the positions that are in Parliament. So the party will present them to at the right time to the right organ that will be able to discuss that.
Todwong revealed that besides preparations for the Speaker election, the party is also holding requests from MPs seeking placement on various parliamentary committees.
There are always forms of expression of interest. The various individuals, based on their skills, their expertise and qualifications, would apply for the various leadership of committees of Parliament. Then the party will do due diligence on each of them. I'm sure you are aware of the new directive by the President that this new Kesanja is not a Kesanja of jokes. So the party will review the applicants, whether they are capable for the task, whether they have a track record that cannot be questioned.
Information moving around indicates that the party had dropped Anita Among for the position of the Speaker. However, much as there is no official confirmation, the CDF and First Son General Mohozgen Rugaba, through his X account, revealed that Defense Minister Jacob Oboth had been endorsed for the position of the Speaker.
The Rotary Club of Chigo Seven Lakes Golf on Friday night capped off its 2025-2026 Rotary year with a grand finale fellowship highlighting a year on impactful community service, transformational projects and humanitarian action under the leadership of Club President Kin Karisa. The event, attended by Rotarians, friends of Rotary and community leaders, celebrated a year defined by action, service and transformational community projects. The fellowship also featured the induction of new members into the club.
Seven Lakers, friends of Rotary and distinguished community leaders gathered for a grand final fellowship that not only marked the close of the extraordinary year of 2025-2026, but also celebrated a legacy of compassion, unity and transformational service under the leadership of the club president, Kin Karisa. Speaking during the celebrations, the Rotary Club president of Chigo Seven Lakes Golf, President Kin Karisa, described 2025-2026 Rotary year as an action year, highlighting the club's dedication to delivering impactful and sustainable projects that directly improve lives in communities across the region and beyond. Among the club's landmark achievement was its signature project, that the construction of Mama Karisa Maternity Ward, an initiative aimed at extending access to maternal health care services and reducing maternal mortality rates.
I introduced a project to you because it was dear to me as your president and you supported me. I did give you a story that almost 50 years ago, because I'm 49 and a few months, because in August I'll be making 50, and I asked all members of Chigo Seven Lakes to support as I split essentially in the middle. To support me, we first reward my mom who brought me in the world. She gave birth to me in a very not pleasant place right now. Maybe then it was the best place then, but right now it is not good. So I pledged to the club members and I said, can we go and do something? They accepted, thank you very much. And we worked together to make sure that we put up a maternity ward, state of the art.
The Grand Final Fellowship was characterized by celebration, reflection and renewed commitment to service, with members pledging continued support for community-centered initiatives that uplift vulnerable populations. The induction of new members added fresh energy to the club's mission, strengthening its capacity to champion future projects in health, education and community development. Karisa also noted that the 2025-2026 Rotary year had become one of the club's most successful and decorated seasons, with the Rotary Club of Chigo Seven Lakes Golf scooping a number of prestigious awards and earning recognition as Club of the Year.
I want to thank each and every one of you, Seven Lakers. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much for the support you've given me. In everything we've done, from the fellowships to the vocational engagements we've had, the vocational visits and the tours we've done, we've gone to Kigali, we've gone to all these places. Thank you very, very much. So if it's the district of the year with so many achievements, then we are a club of the zone. So that is, in Rotary terms, we have delivered. And I want to say that we've delivered as a team. Thank you, thank you.
A great club also gets members serving beyond the club. And I would like to congratulate Charter President and other members of the club who have stepped out of the club and are serving beyond the club. And I would like to encourage many more. Kin, once you are done with your office, you should be able to serve beyond the club.
The Rotary year of 2025-2026 is expected to end on 5th June 2026, when the President-elect of Chigo Seven Lakes Golf, Maria Odido, is expected to start her year of service for the next year of 2026-2027.
The Minister of Defense, Jacob Oboth, has confirmed and accepted the endorsement for the speakership of the 12th Parliament, earlier announced by the Patriotic League of Uganda. Oboth says he had the announcement with a surprise, but is now glad to publicly confirm that the endorsement is real. PLU Secretary General David Kabanda also moved to cement Oboth's statement, saying President Yoweri Museveni had already made the decision.
Following his swearing into the 12th Parliament on Friday, May 12, 2026, the Thanksgiving ceremony that had initially been scheduled to take place in Nabiyoga village in Tororo district was abruptly shifted to Kampala after the Patriotic League of Uganda, led by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, endorsed Oboth for speakership. The clergy who were expected to preside over the Thanksgiving prayers all traveled to Kampala, and by 11 a.m., the service had already commenced.
The procedures command that when the right honorable is...
Beside the religious service, the event attracted top structures of the ruling National Resistance Movement, UPDF generals, cabinet ministers, and several newly elected members of parliament. Oboth, who was surrounded by members of the Patriotic League of Uganda, including Secretary General David Kabanda and other officials, said he was surprised by the endorsement, but confirmed that he is officially in the race for speakership, despite the ruling National Resistance Movement earlier fronting other possible candidates. The Patriotic League of Uganda officials told believers that the president had already made up his mind, confirming that Oboth is the next Speaker of the 12th Parliament. Several newly sworn-in members of Parliament were also seen struggling to position themselves around the emerging political camp following the confirmation from Oboth and PLU leaders. Some openly expressed excitement, saying they had finally seen the white smoke.
The white smoke you're asking for has been in waiting.
And they agreed that this one goes to them.
And I can assure you, the right honorable Oboth is going to be a very good speaker for this country, and he will deliver.
Others, however, remained non-committal, saying they were still waiting for guidance from the NRM chairman, President Yoweri Museveni.
As the NRM party, we are still waiting to see what the chairman says, and we shall all align.
From the debates, they are telling us one position will be for a man and one position will be for a woman. So I'm going to adjust my campaign so that I'm flexible enough to contest for the position which the leadership would have given to the women.
This is expected to come to light when the party's Central Executive Committee meets next week to discuss the speakership race before the party's parliamentary caucus meeting ahead of the election for the Speaker and Deputy Speaker on 25th of May 2026.
Feedback brought to you by. They are designed to support your growth. Visit absa.co.ug for personal loans that help where it matters. Absa, your story matters.
Like earlier on promised, let's take a look at your feedback, and our question was, how best can the opposition navigate the speakership race despite their numerical disadvantage? The hashtag is NBS Live at 9. Let's take a look at some of your feedback. Michael Taban says opposition's strongest route is not numerical competition, but coalition politics, issue framing, negotiation, and exploiting divisions within the ruling establishment. Uganda's political context, internal NRM disagreements may ultimately matter more than opposition numbers, okay? That is from Taban. Mukisa Isaac. Prioritize securing a powerful lead of opposition and key committees like PAC and budget for real influence. Maintain unity to avoid co-option and use the process for narrative gains by exposing NRM fractures, treating the race as positioning rather than victory. Kalinaki Arthur says mathematics makes an outright win impossible. With the NRM's massive majority and strict caucus discipline, the opposition simply lacks the numbers, making any traditional electoral strategy entirely unrealistic. And that is from Kalinaki Arthur.
More to come, brought to you by
blended pure vegetable cooking oil, second best to a mother's love.
Now, when we come back, we'll be looking at Kasese Catholic Diocese that is expected to flag off about 800-foot pilgrims. That story will be coming up after the break. Right now, Live at 9 takes a short break, and we'll be back with more stories, including business and sport.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuli don't go mole, momo zema kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, edendongo ya kusabula. We gonna do free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Total Energy has helped our groups. They support us to be trained in different skills like tailoring, bakery, and catering. We now have friendship and we can get loan. That loan can help us stay at home to pay school fees. So we thank them for giving us that skills and knowledge.
What I've liked most about Total Football is like they don't segregate, because other companies they would maybe favor boys. Total is at least bringing both teams, therefore they are promoting gender equality in our society. We even had a dream like to form our team called the Total Energies.
I thank Total so much. What you have done has given them encouragement, strength, and power.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
I enjoy to look after myself by coming to Don's Organic Spa for massage, pedicure and manicure, facials, salon, like they have it all here. Sometimes I come with my girlfriends twice a week and I feel so refreshed, renewed. Like I'm just so happy that this place is full of life. It's full of life. That's all I can say.
It's back, bigger, and with more business opportunities. It's the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, Poate 2026, Uganda's flagship tourism event. Poate 2026 will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026 at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme Wanderlust. It's your time to thrive. Yes, it's your time to tap into Uganda's renewed optimism and tourism growth. Tourism stakeholders, travel trade partners, and tourism enthusiasts will be part of the Poate 2026. Come and network with like-minded people and unlock new business opportunities. To participate, register at www.poate.co.ug. Poate 2026 is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board and partners.
Cooking all that makes food sweet. Tastes so good like mama's keys. Sweet time of sana, yeah. Stir gold, it's the oil you need for a tasty meal to live a healthy
he could talk, Johnny Walker Black Label would sing. With notes that only come with 12 years in a barrel. Sweet, smooth toffee, rich fruit, and a touch of smoke. Tastes as good as it sounds.
Back now away from politics, the Kasese Catholic Diocese is expected to flag off about 800-foot pilgrims to the Namugongo Catholic Shrine on May 19th for this year's Uganda Matters Day celebrations. Pilgrims from both Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo are taking part in the spiritual journey. The diocese has already welcomed 78-foot pilgrims from the Diocese of Butembo, Beni in DRC and will be hosting celebrations at the Catholic Shrine.
The Kasese Catholic Diocese will animate this year's Matters Day celebrations at the Namugongo Catholic Shrine under the theme, Christ is alive in you and me, ahead of June 3rd, Namugongo in Kampala, which will start on Tuesday next week, May 19th, 2026. The chairperson of the Foot Pilgrims Subcommittee, Father Johnny Sebayanda Baluku, says they have so far registered 688 foot pilgrims, including 78 pilgrims from the Diocese of Butembo Beni in the Democratic Republic of Congo, who are already in the country.
At the moment, we have registered 688 pilgrims, foot pilgrims, including 78 foot pilgrims from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And therefore, we expect more other numbers.
Father Sebayanda says the diocese expects the number of foot pilgrims to increase to about 800 before the official flag-off, as more faithful continue registering for the pilgrimage. The diocese is also expecting a total number of 1,965 pilgrims from the Democratic Republic of Congo, including both foot pilgrims and those traveling by vehicle. Pilgrims from the DRC say the journey to Namugongo represents more than just the long distance, describing it as spiritual reflection on faith, perseverance, and the suffering endured by the Uganda Matters.
Njia hiyo nasi tunapenda tufuatilie imani yao na iwe imani yetu sisi wote, imani kwa Kristo.
Meanwhile, the police has assured pilgrims of adequate security and guidance along the Kasese to Namugongo route during the entire pilgrimage period.
We are going to put much focus on this route, especially because I know we are going to have the majority of the people from Kasese move up to Namugongo, where we have these national celebrations. So we are going to ensure that these roads are well kept and everyone is preserved.
Father Sebayanda has called upon all pilgrims to remain prayerful, disciplined and cooperative with security personnel and Ministry of Health officials throughout the journey to ensure a safe and successful pilgrimage.
We should observe the guidelines given to us by the security organs and then by the officials from the Ministry of Health.
Over the years, the trek has attracted thousands of Christians from across Uganda and neighboring countries who walk for days in remembrance of the Uganda Matters and to strengthen their faith through prayer and sacrifice.
Rotary District 9213 and Rotary District 9214 have signed a memorandum of understanding with Vidam Health that is aimed at expanding access to specialized medical treatment for Ugandans battling cancer and sickle cell disease. The partnership is expected to strengthen medical outreach programs and health camps organized by Rotary across different parts of the country, with a major focus on diseases that continue to threaten livelihoods and place immense pressure on families and the entire healthcare system.
Access to specialized healthcare remains a major challenge for most Ugandans, especially those battling cancer and sickle cell disease. But there is a ray of hope after the Rotary District 9213 and the Rotary District 9214 penned a memorandum of understanding with Vaindam Health that aims to expanding access to specialized medical treatment for Ugandans. Under the partnership, Vaindam Health will provide medical expertise and support through its network of specialized medical campuses and hospitals, connecting Ugandan patients to advanced treatment options, consultations and care.
Not only we want to target the people that we want to bring the healthcare to them, but also we want to take multiple initiatives where we want to organize training programs for the nurses, for the doctors. We want to organize observership programs, CMEs, so that at the same time we can empower the doctors and patients to make the right and informed decision for themselves and for the patients.
Speaking during the signing ceremony, the district governor for 9213, Geoffrey Martin Chitakule, described the partnership as both timely and strategic, especially as Uganda intensifies efforts to combat cancer and improve healthcare services.
Also, sickle cell is quite a big problem in our communities. All these we are going to come together as Rotarians to make sure that we make a difference. We've committed over 100 health camps with the partners, but also the platform of Vaindam provides us Rotarians the potential, the ability to treat ourselves. Health is wealth, because for us, the Rotarians who go in the communities and serve also need to be healthy.
Rotary leaders say the collaboration will help bridge gaps in healthcare delivery, particularly for vulnerable communities in underserved areas.
Today we are excited to sign this partnership, not only on behalf of our communities that we serve, but also on our own behalf as Rotarians. Today we are able to have options for our Rotarians, options for our communities in terms of seeking information, understanding procedural issues that we sometimes have challenges.
With Vaindam Health, this partnership means that we are walking through a door that is going to expand our health care needs that will eventually get into helping our communities.
The Directorate of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services under Uganda Police Force has revealed that poor and illegal electrical installations are among the top 3 major causes of fire outbreaks, partly as a result of the rise in illegal and unprofessional quacks within the electric engineering field. According to the liaison officer at the Directorate of Fire Prevention and Rescue Services, Assistant Inspector of Police Eli Walusimbi, electricity-related fires amount to over 490 cases in the recent Uganda Police Annual Report 2025, with suspected arson being the first major cause, followed by poor cooking habits that continue to claim lives and massive property loss. As part of the preventative measures, Walusimbi called upon stakeholders to undertake legal power connections and rely on professional electrical services to prevent fires.
Some fires are set by individuals because they have their own motives. Others, they are because of poor wiring. Electricity has caused them a problem because they don't consult the right people. And sometimes power comes when it is much, sometimes slow. You know, there is that power surge. In most cases, electricity can cause them more. So people who deal in timber yards, markets, and some homes. Most of the businesses, like those timber yards, they normally deal in those machines, but they have what we call a poor wiring. Even if you go there, you'll find that what they do, really they connect the way they want. In most cases, they get that problem, and what they deal in catches fire very fast. So you normally get such a problem. Then also, some business places in the town, like this restaurant, they normally leave what we call these deep fryers. When the power goes off, what they do, they just abandon, the workers normally abandon those deep fryers. What will happen once it comes back, you'll find when those equipments are on, then fire starts from there. Others, there is what we call negligence.
Electrical engineers and technicians are pushing for a crackdown on unlicensed practitioners, citing them as a key reason behind the rise in fire outbreaks from substandard installations. Now, their call follows the 2025 Police Annual Crime Report, which lists faulty electrical installations as a leading cause of fires in the country. And joining us tonight is a senior electrical engineering consultant, Ronald Wamkota. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, what in your view could be driving the rise in the unlicensed electricians, and what are the implications of this growing trend?
Yeah, the problem comes with people who are not qualified for the job. And someone who is a qualified electrician, one, it is someone who has studied the electricity, but also the person who has been assessed by the Electricity Regulatory Authority and has been issued with the permit. And because people do not use professionals, the problem is big. But also another major cause is as a result of the poor quality materials that are used. Nowadays, many people, of course, would want to save. When someone is given, for example, a quotation for things which are legit, which are of quality, and someone presents the budget of things which are low quality, of course, the customer will go for the person with the lower prices. And that puts the installation in danger. But also, because the person is not qualified, he cannot know how to even size things like cables. And when you don't do proper sizing of things like cables, what happens is the wire can heat up. And of course, if the cables heat up because of bad sizing, it can lead to a fire outbreak, but also it can impact largely on the bill that you pay. Because
just to interject there, does the rise in the outbreak stem solely from the unlicensed electricians, or does the circulation of the substandard electrical equipment play a role as well? And how big is that problem as well?
Yeah, I can say both play a role, but the biggest one is unlicensed technicians. For example, the problem is very big in the suburbs, in the ghettos. Most of them, as long as someone knows how to connect a wire, comes to you and is given a job of installation, and that puts the dangers of lives and property.
Okay. Now, as we conclude, what defines a proper electrical installation in the field of electrical engineering, briefly?
A proper installation is the one that has been done by someone who is qualified, and I explained the person is qualified, but also, secondly, if the proper materials are put in use. And of course, some of the physical things that you can look at and see it's a proper installation. One is you don't see flickering lights, you don't see sockets which are burnt, you don't see buzzing sounds, but also the power doesn't frequently go off, that you need to call the electrician to come and fix it. And of course, there are quite also a number of things that you can look at.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Ronald Wamkota there. Now we get into the space where we look at what our leaders are saying online. Well, we'll look at what our leaders are saying online. We will start with the first one, and that will be of X, which is Twitter. Or both Markison's Jacob at his residence in Kyungu Mukono, together with friends, leaders and well-wishers, to celebrate his remarkable election victory in the just concluded elections and continued service to his people. The celebration was not only a moment of thanksgiving, but also a reflection of the confidence and trust Ugandans have in his leadership, humility and commitment to national development. I congratulate him once again upon this milestone and wish him God's guidance and wisdom as he continues serving our country and its people. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. This evening I met the task force on epidemics in Nakasero. We discussed the Ebola situation in the region and we will communicate the way forward. There is no cause for alarm. Now we'll have some communication from UEDCL, and there is a planned UEDCL maintenance works in the Greater Kampala metropolitan area, and that is as of May 13th, 2026. UEDCL informs its esteemed customers in the Greater Kampala metropolitan area that our supplier, the Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited, has scheduled power shutdowns from May 14th, 2026 to June 2nd, 2026. The shutdowns will enable UEDCL to safely carry out critical network improvement works along the Lugogo-Kampala North 132 kV transmission line. These works are part of the ongoing Kampala Metropolitan Transmission System Improvement Project that is expected to significantly improve power supply reliability in the area. And looking at the affected areas from May 14th to 23rd, 2026, the affected areas are Kamo, Chatisi, Old Chira Road, Mawanda Road, Acacia Avenue, Kawalia, Kagwa, Close, Kisementi, parts of Bukoto, Mulimira Zone, Chifumbira and Tafnell Drive, and the outage time is 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. UEDCL appeals to the affected customers to plan accordingly during this period. If your power supply is not restored by the scheduled time, please reach out to us through our toll-free lines, which these are their toll-free lines 0800-2030-88 and 0800-285285 or 0800-385385. Those are the toll-free lines that you can reach them on. Now, Live at 9 takes another short break and we'll be back with more stories.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, endungu ya kusabula. We gonna do free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Better study tips. Protect your digital money from phishing scams. Be cautious of suspicious emails or texts asking you to click on links. Instead, visit the official website directly to ensure you're accessing a secure platform. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
In the heart of comfort and class, where every arrival feels like a welcome home. Experience spaces designed for rest, where elegance meets relaxation in every detail. Stay energized, stay inspired with wellness tailored to your lifestyle. For business that matters, find spaces built for productivity, connection, and success. Indulge in flavors that bring
heard. Be part of the story. Call 0761 001 890 now to secure your slot. Next Media, connecting you to moments that move the nation.
Looking for a vacation of a lifetime? Cross the equator and discover Pineapple Bay Resort. An all-round experience at Pineapple Bay, located on Bulago Island, right in the midst of Lake Victoria. Talk to us today.
Welcome back. The Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board has raised concern over the high cost of vocational education and limited public appreciation of technical training, warning that the challenges continue to affect enrollment and skill development in Uganda. Speaking during the briefing of the May-June 2026 assessment series, the Deputy Executive Secretary of the Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board, Dr. Winfred Nahamia, said vocational education remains expensive for many families despite a growing demand for technical skills.
People thought for you to join vocational education, then you should have failed. That was the general thinking. And the parents and everybody thinks that vocational education, when you want to become a mechanic, when you want to become an electrical person and you are installing wires and so on, you are climbing in the ceilings and so on, it is as if it's a dirty kind of job. But our statistics are now changing. Our trend statistics are changing. The numbers, in the recent past, the numbers were like now, for this series, we would be talking about 15,020. But we can see we are talking about 47,000 in the formal. But we have also assessment, what we refer as the informally acquired skills. And those have even more numbers, though we assess them in March, June, September, and November. So the numbers, the good thing, are increasing. And I can still even combine this with the boys, girls, and so on. As you may even look at these statistics, if you look at this paper, you're going to find some reasonable numbers of girls coming.
Business Pulse, brought to you by
In business tonight, years of deforestation, soil erosion and excessive use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides are degrading soils and increasing farming costs in the Sebei sub-region. To restore soil fertility and promote sustainable livelihoods, Uganda Breweries Limited, through the Elgon Pamoja project implemented by Elgon Aid, is training farmers in regenerative agriculture and production of organic biofertilizers using locally available materials.
In the steep highlands of Benet in Kwen district, farming remains the backbone of livelihoods. However, years of deforestation, soil erosion and continuous cultivation have steadily depleted soil fertility. To sustain production, many farmers growing barley, Irish potatoes, onions and vegetables turned to synthetic fertilizers and chemical pesticides, increasing production costs, especially for barley farmers who spend heavily on fertilizers, fungicides and pesticides every season.
It needs DAP for planting. Then from there, it needs also fertilizer for crop dressing. And it needs also fungicides.
Agronomists warn that excessive dependence on chemical inputs not only raises production costs but also threatens long-term soil health and environmental sustainability. Under the Elgon Pamoja project by Uganda Breweries Limited, implemented by Elgon Aid, farmers are being trained to produce organic biofertilizers using locally available materials.
We cut the fresh Tisonia leaves and the Dodocandra leaves. We mix it with a fresh cow dung, we mix it with a stone dust and also mix it with a wood.
You are going to spend maybe close to
300,000 Uganda shillings.
The Uganda Breweries Limited Elgon Pamoja project is currently training farmers on sustainable farming practices across the 4 landslide-prone districts of Kapchora District, Kwen District, Buko and Bulambuli District. Project implementers say regenerative agriculture is becoming increasingly important as climate change continues to affect farming communities in the Sebei sub-region. Unlike synthetic fertilizers, farmers involved in the project say the organic technology is helping them cut production costs while maintaining crop productivity.
In sport, road safety took center stage in Kampala today as hundreds of people participated in the Joe Walker Border Walk, a campaign aimed at sensitizing border riders on responsible road use and accident prevention. The 10-kilometer walk, which started at Sheraton Kampala Hotel, brought together road safety activists, police officers and city leaders who emphasized the importance of wearing helmets, reflector jackets and obeying traffic regulations.
Border riders are one of the quickest means that we use for transport, and they are very liable to road crashes. The statistics are so alarming. Every day in Lago, they operate over 200 patients in relation to border injuries. And these accidents or these crashes are preventable and predictable. So we are working out here to create more awareness about the discipline among border riders.
Yeah, I'm really inspired. Why? Because there is a month I got like 3 accidents on borders, and the last one was really bad.
Walking, talking and engaging with the border riders, interacting about how we can make our roads safe. If you know the statistics that are happening on the roads, they are really scary.
I think this walk is going to help us to talk to the border guys on how to use the roads, how to use the reflectors during night times.
And that is a good idea. We must ride with the helmet, with the reflector, and also the speed should not be high for the safety of our life. We have children, we have families behind who are after us, you get. So I am so happy for Mr. Joe Walker for the contribution to borders. I say thank you to him.
Still in sport, hundreds of mourners have gathered at Kamocha Catholic Church to pay their final respects to the late